Hey everyone, Charles here. And first of all, thank you for stopping by my podcast. If this show inspires you, makes you think, or gives you that courage to jump into action, please help by donating to this show. Click the link in the description and donate. Your donation helps us with production and finding great guests moving forward. Thank you and enjoy.
Amazon is offering sign-on bonuses up to $1,000, plus get up to $20 an hour for select roles. The best part? We're hiring near you. So start now to take home something greater. New, higher wages with a sign-on bonus, a range of real benefits, and career growth opportunities in a top-rated workplace. So earn more and see how great pay and sign-on bonuses can lead to a greater life for you. Go to amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
Good morning to you, and happy Friday. I hope you guys are enjoying Friday like how I'm enjoying Friday. I have a special guest coming on, and I just want to say straight on the line, I thank her so much for being patient. You know, with technology, it's good, it's bad when it works, but she's been patient, and I'm so excited because I know Jump fans, you're going to want to listen to my next guest. So stay tuned and get ready to jump to be inspired right here on the Jump Podcast.
You know you should be doing something different, right? Hey, I'm talking to you. Do you believe that you have the gift for greatness or have a special talent, but don't have the courage to take that next step? Always wondering how others made it look so easy? Well, welcome to Jump, the show that will bring you special guests just like you and me. How did they get the courage to jump into greatness? Doing what they love and living the good life. So get ready to jump with your host, Charles Matthews Jr.
Yes, we're here and we're back, and I know my guest is on the line. Special guest, are you there?
I'm here. I'm here.
Listen. I'm not even going to bother telling my listeners what we went through to get you on the phone.
Technology.
I'm not even going to go down that path with them. All I know is tonight I'm buying a Lotterio ticket. And win this bus, I'm telling you right now, okay? When I win, I'm going to make my own station, make sure it all works, my own live station, and you're going to be my first host on the new station, okay?
Sounds good.
All right. Tell everybody who I got on the line.
You got Makini Smith. I'm founder of Walking My Stilettos.
All right. Woo! All right. So this is what I want you to do. Tell everybody a little bit about your background.
Oh, wow. How far back do you want me to go?
Well, put it this way. I've been watching you for a while. I know I follow you on social media. I know you're a talker, you're inspirational, you write books. But the question everybody wants to know is, how did you even get to that point in your life that you wanted to start to do that?
Oh, wow. Okay. So I will go back to 2010 when I decided to file for a divorce. I was a stay-at-home mom for almost 5 years, and I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. And when I became a single mother and was filing for my divorce, I was like, wow, how can I still provide this lifestyle for my children on a single income and still be flexible to be the full-time mom that I wanted to be? And at the time, I jumped into real estate, and I sold real estate full-time for about 6 or 7 years. But in 2012, my sister had passed away, and she was like my best friend. And I had messages from people reaching out to me to let me know how much she meant to them and the difference that she made in their life and how she made them feel. And it made me think about, how do I want to be remembered? And it made me look at how I wanted to serve in this world and what difference I wanted to make. And when I decided to publish my first book in 2000, and I believe it was going into 2014, I had met my mentor, Bob Proctor, who was like world-renowned thought leader, and his wife was gracious enough to write the foreword for my first book. And I was pushed into public speaking because people wanted to hear my story. They wanted to know how I was able to still stay so positive after the things that I had been through. And that snowballed into 4 published books later, a mobile app, a coaching business, and now my podcast.
So all from one life-changing experience.
We're all just one decision away from a completely different life.
And that's one of the reasons I wanted you on Jump, because the whole promise of my podcast show is to take that chance, take that one chance and leap forward.
Mm-hmm.
Let's backtrack for some of the single moms out there. I want to go to that part where you talked about, okay, you just got a divorce. How did you build enough courage to say, okay, I can make it on my own? Because there's a lot of women out there, and men, I'm not going to say just women, that know that this is not working. We should just separate and move on, but they're scared.
Right.
How did you build that one step to just say, okay, I'm going to take this jump?
So I think we're all afraid of the unknown. And I have always been a person that embraced change. But because I was in my comfort zone of living this great lifestyle, my ex-husband made a great income. We had multiple properties, traveled the world, luxury cars. And I was like, wow, am I going to be able to maintain a lifestyle like that? And I looked at my children and I thought about my well-being, and I wasn't happy, and the marriage was toxic for me. And I decided to jump without a parachute.
Okay.
So my way of doing it may not be for everyone. But I thought to myself, I can't stay in this relationship. You know, a lot of people stay in relationships that are totally unhealthy for them because they're afraid of the unknown. They're afraid to do something outside of their comfort zone. And I just had enough. Enough was enough for me. And when I made that decision that I was done, the next step was, okay, well, now that I'm done, solution mode. What am I going to do?
Right.
And every step from there was, okay, what next? It was solution mode. It wasn't pity party mode. Like, oh my God, I'm in this hot mess of a situation. It's, okay, these are the cards that I've been dealt. How do I play this hand? I wouldn't even say I had the courage to make that move. It was feel the fear and do it anyway. And that's really what I teach my clients, because the fear exists. It's real. It's learning how to work through it.
Right. Now, when you landed, it must have been a tough landing. You had no parachute. but in the long run,
when I landed, I didn't break my ankles.
Right. But look at you now, right? Because
Exactly.
if you go to her website, man, you're smoozing with some top people here.
Yes. I put that out there. I believe that, you know, we have to envision the life that we want for ourselves. Everything in life happens twice. First in our mind, the visions that we see, and then in reality. And we can't make it happen in reality if we can't envision that for ourselves. And when I started my own personal development journey and learning to be a better me, and I looked at the things that would make my life feel meaningful, and when my top 5 things were narrowed down as to what's most important to me, one of those things was learning from and being connected to the world's greatest motivational, spiritual, and motivational and spiritual speakers and thought leaders. And I've been able to do that. I've been able to rub shoulders with some of the most amazing people on the planet. And I've still got a list of people that I'm excited to connect with.
Oh, so you just check them off, right? You're like, oh, I met Trent. Check.
I write their names down.
I met Rob. Check.
Yeah. All of them.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
their names are written down in my notebook.
Okay. I like that you're meeting all these people. The next person I want to meet, because she just seems like the bubbly person, is Tracy. Is Tracy really that bubbly on TV and in person?
Tracy Moore from Cityline?
Yeah.
Oh, she's amazing.
Okay.
She's a ball of energy. She's definitely amazing. Her energy in person is beautiful, and even more so, I mean, we first connected through social media. She didn't know who I was. I was just, another one of her fans, and we met a couple times in person, and then I had some nonprofit work that I was doing with young moms, and she supported, and she's been supporting every year since. She helps support with the initiative that I do with the Massey Center for teen moms, and she's actually got the other people at City Line to help contribute to the cause as well. So it's been beautiful. She's an amazing person.
Well, here, I'll tell you why I asked, because people told me, and I've learned this growing up, and I've learned this doing the podcast and everything, that inspiration meets inspiration. If you meet inspirational people, you guys end up gathering together. It's in the force that social people that think the same or inspirational the same will end up meeting that way. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, like attracts like. You know, we can't attract what we're not in harmony with. So me having the opportunity to connect with her, that was because we resonated on the same vibration. We connected. You know, even though I was one of her social media followers, if we didn't resonate, if we weren't supposed to connect, you know, she would just see my likes and my comments and keep it moving.
So here's the question, because you talked about your children. Mm-hmm. And then I know you have 2 girls and a little one, the little boy. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, how do you show your ladies how to keep as strong as you, and your little man the same thing?
So one thing I'm known for is my transparency. My transparency in what I put out there in the world, from, you know, my messages in my book, my podcast, and my transparency with my children and my clients. So my kids see and hear the real. I don't shelter or sugarcoat anything. And in terms of my journey with entrepreneurship, I've brought them with me to book signings, to events. They see it all. So they're not oblivious to what happens in my life and in the world around me. So they get, you know, I feel like our kids don't necessarily always do what we tell them to do.
Really? Oh.
So most things are caught and not taught. So they catch on, right? So I keep them around so they can see and hear the real, versus me just trying to tell them and them not getting it.
Right. Because we all have kids and we want them to go to that next level, and society's tough, but you showing them as a single mom, okay, this is possible.
It is possible. It's hard. You know, they will see some days where I'm going, you know, 16-hour days. They will see, if they come with me, you know, the long hours of setting up for an event, and then the interacting with everybody. And then that can sometimes be exhausting because I'm an introvert, I'm an empath. So I, you know, hold on to that energy. And then they'll see, you know, the teardown of the events, and, you know, the packing up of the car, and like they're a part of all of that. So they know that it's work. You know, people may see the pretty pictures on social media, but they see all the work that goes on behind it.
Oh, so you mean you don't just show up and then do the event and walk back home? Isn't it?
Oh, no. No. They see sometimes it's weeks prep for some things, you know, especially certain workshops or speaking engagements. They see, you know, the orders that have to be put in. They see the phone calls that have to be made. They see it.
So they see that, but then they also see these 4 great books.
Yes.
Tell me how it just started. Like, to be honest with you, I'm being straight honest. Everybody says yes. They tell me I have a story. That's why I do the podcast. I need to get a book, but getting it out on the paper is like, it's so hard. And then I look at your profile and it's like, wait, 1, 2, how does she got 4 books out already?
Yeah, I mean, I've been through the process many times outside of my own books. I actually work with ghostwriters and help other people to publish their books. So we can talk about that after if you're ready.
There you go. There you go. But how do you know? Like, how did you know? Like, okay, tell us the first book. What was the first book?
Okay, so the first book, A Walk in My Stilettos, How to Get Through the Struggle with Grace. It's a chapter book, personal development, but it's my story on how I got through much of life's struggles. And in it, it's not just my story, but I give tips, tools, scriptures, and strategies to help you get through what it is that you're going through. And although, you know, I'm a woman and it's my story, the feedback that I've gotten from men that have written it, it's helped men that were going through a divorce. It's helped men that were single parents. It's helped men that were just starting out as entrepreneurs. So because I share so many parts of my journey within it, although it's geared towards women, it's helped so many people. So
Okay.
that was the kickoff, me sharing that. And it was the feedback from readers that inspired the second book, because I had people reaching out to me saying, "Oh my gosh, you have been to hell and back. How are you still so positive? I don't understand." And I let them know it was through affirmations and declarations and prayer that helped me. So that inspired the second book, which is A Walk in My Stilettos, 111 Affirmations to Help You Heal. And the third book, which is the Gratitude Journal, through the mentorship of Bob Proctor and a lot of the practices that we use in coaching, practicing gratitude is a big deal. And practicing gratitude on a daily basis helps us to not only appreciate what we have, but it makes room for more. So I created a prompted journal to help people really focus on what it is that they have, what it is that they want to focus on each day, and to actually look at what it is that they're wasting time on and what they can improve on each day on a daily basis.
Okay, so the first two books was actually you jumping out of the plane without the parachute. So I got that.
Yep.
And the last one is How Do You Survive? Right?
Yeah.
All right.
And then the fourth book was inspired by my partner, because he saw me writing in my journal, my gratitude journal, every single day.
Right.
And when we got together, he's like, "Oh, have you ever thought about doing a couples version?" I was like, "No." And he's like, "Well, it would be awesome if, you released one in time for Valentine's Day." And I think it was like around Christmas. And I was like, "Yeah, I said, that's not possible. That's not enough time." He's like, "I believe in you. You can do it."
Right.
And within a month, I'm going to say we, because he helped me.
Right.
We created the couples gratitude journal, which we use together now on a daily basis to, focus on the good in our relationship. And that way on the bad days, we have something positive to look back on, to know that there's more good days than bad.
Okay, so it's basically in a relationship, everybody's like, "Oh, this day, oh, she got me upset. This day got me that upset that day," and you forget about 2 days ago that she made you a nice, beautiful breakfast that surprised you with lunch, or did any of this. We forget about all those good ones, and we're just stuck on this. Man, did she take my car and fucking car? Man, and then you forget about the nice omelet, freshly squeezed juice, and all that other stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I get. And I'm just saying that out. So if you didn't do it for him, that was just a hint for you to do it for him. I'm looking out for him. You know what I mean? I'm looking.
He's well taken care of. Don't worry about that.
So here it is. As you, as an inspirational person, give my listeners a tip. What do you do? Like, you wake up in the morning and you just say, "I'm inspired."
No.
How do you? So tell me, how do I be? Like, I never tell anybody be that person, but be a version of that person and be yourself. So how can I do? What do you do? Would you wake up in the morning and write on the board? Do you run around the block 100 times? Are you that person that wakes up 4 o'clock in the morning?
No.
How are you inspired?
So with motivation, it's like a shower. We need it every day, right? So there are so many different systems that I set in place to keep me motivated, because I'm a human being. Life has daily struggles, things that frustrate us, things that upset us, things that get us down, and in our feelings. So it's having these systems set up to help me get out of my feelings when I get in them. So when I wake up in the morning, first thing it's like time for meditation. So even though my alarm goes off, I have at least that 10 minutes of silence in my head where I'm allowing and focusing on what it is that I want for the day. And then there's the prayer, which is my conversation with God. And then after, you brush your teeth and you do all that good stuff, after I have sit down with my cup of coffee, I write in my gratitude journal. And I actually do both. I do my gratitude journal, and Jeff and I do the couples journal. And throughout the day, there are so many things in place to kind of help me to visualize the life that I want. Between my vision board and my regular motivational quotes that my app sends out, which it's been out for 2 years. We took it down about a month ago. We're rebranding the entire thing, so it'll be back up shortly.
Okay.
it sends out affirmations every single day. It sends out motivational quotes every day. And I strongly believe in affirmations. So inside the gratitude journal, I write down my top 3 affirmations for the day. It's a system. It's a bunch of things that help keep me organized.
So when you wake up in the morning and you have that prayer with the big man, is it always the same one, or is yours longer? Because some days, man, my prayer with him is like an hour long, and some of them is like a quick Twitter page. You know what I mean? Like, hey, Bob.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the thing. A lot of things that I've learned as of recently, on my own personal development journey, have helped with my prayers. And before, my prayers used to be kind of general. And although I always started with my gratitude and thanking God for everything that I do have, and then going in with my asks, now they're more detailed. So I do start them with thanking for everything that I have, because I am definitely grateful, especially when you're interacting with people that are in a lower place and dealing with a lot of bad situations, and you're coaching them out of it. It forces you to be grateful for your situation, because it's like, wow, okay, there are people out here that have it way worse. So after I do my thanking to the big man, when I ask, it's now more specific, and I ask with intention of receiving right away, not with receiving a sign 6 months from now, not with things like that. There is always a question that I will ask, it's a yes or no question, and I'm finding it's actually, when I started to realize that it was working, it creeped me out for a second.
You'd be like, well, should I do this today? And then something tells you yes, and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It actually got scary when the first week that I started practicing this, and this was, I believe, last week or the week before.
Right.
It was a little scary, because I had a moment where I was like, am I making a difference in this world? Like, God, should I continue with the coaching? Does this even make sense?
Right.
And throughout the day, it was bam, 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 like one after the other. It was, right after that, I had a phone call with a client who basically cried in tears for 30 minutes, thanking me for the difference that I made in her life. And then I received 4 emails from women saying how much they're inspired and how much they love the podcast and how much, my messages and my emails mean to them, and how much it's empowered them to do more in their life. It was just one after the other. And I was like, okay, God, I hear you. Okay, I hear you. Yeah.
Well, do me a favor, since you're so close. Like I said earlier, I bought a ticket. Can you just? I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there, right?
Listen, if you believe that you are going to win the lottery, and make sure you're specific with the amount that you believe you're going to win. Okay, be specific in your visualization, and be specific in your ask to God. Trust me, it works.
So we're joking around here, but let's put it to that point, because you're about the 4th person, and it's funny this month that I've heard the same thing. So for example, I say, oh, I want to get this next speaking role, right? I want to get a next speaking role. I don't say directly, I want to get the next speaking role at the so-and-so event. Because if I don't put it out there directly, like, there's many speaking roles. He doesn't know exactly, the universe doesn't know exactly which one I want.
Right.
So we have to be specific. I want it on this day. This is the show.
You may not necessarily. Okay, so you give yourself a deadline. You could say, within the next 30 days, I want to be able to speak on a stage in front of, I don't know, whatever your number is, 1,000 people, and you have to be able to visualize in your mind what that looks like. Picture yourself on that stage. Picture the people in the audience. Picture it all. And if you can start to visualize what it is that you want and connect your feelings and your emotions to it, how does that make you feel? What difference would that make in your life? When you start to connect, because your conscious mind is the thought, the subconscious is your feelings and your emotions. Once you start to connect those two and you internalize what it is that you're visualizing, you will quickly manifest that into reality, because your thoughts and your feelings start to affect the actions that you take going forward to that, because you know what it is that you want. So you start doing the things to work towards that, and that's when the results come.
Okay, so don't go nowhere. I'm just going to play a quick commercial. Right after the commercial, I'm going to dive into how you help people because it sounds like that there's a lot of. I'd say, do you work with more ladies or men or everybody in general?
It's mainly women, but I
Okay.
work with anyone that needs help.
Okay. So when I get back, I want to just give some points on how you help certain people and it would be great for people that are looking and struggling, looking for a coach, why they should contact you. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's okay if you're driving or too busy to take notes. Charles has your parachute packed with all the info you need to jump into success. Check out the links section for all the tools you need to land safe. Now, let's keep falling with Charles and his special guest.
Yes, we are back. And if you're just tuning in, welcome to Jump Podcast. And it's a podcast to help you to get to that next level and how to jump. And that's why my special guest right now is one of the greatest, one of the best in the world.
Sure, let's put that out there.
Okay, yeah, right? You said put it out in the universe, right? If we put it out there, we're going to get it, right?
Yes.
All right. So please, before we go, tell everybody your website and contact, because I've been putting it out into the chat as we've been going along, just so they can hear and get to know who you are a little better.
So my website is awalkinmystilettos.com. Make sure you spell stilettos correctly. And social media, I mean, Instagram, I'm probably on there the most. And my personal page is The Real Makini Smith. That's MAKINISMITH. And the reason why it's The Real is because there's someone else using Makini Smith and it's not me. And there's also the A Walk in My Stilettos page as well. So on all the platforms, you can find me under one or the other, Makini Smith or A Walk in My Stilettos.
All right. So before the break, I was asking you if you can just help somebody, because sometimes people always say, yeah, you need a coach. And sometimes people know themselves they want a coach. But how do they find you and how do you fit being the right coach?
So what I suggest with any type of coaching, mentoring, counseling is to only take advice from someone that you wouldn't mind switching places with. Because often people will seek out someone that is strictly going off of book knowledge or estimation of something and don't necessarily have the wisdom to counsel you on that. And when I say that, I mean, for example, if you are seeking relationship advice, you don't want to go to someone who is single, or you may end up single. So for myself, a lot of the coaching that I do is based on helping women to own their stories, to conquer their fears so that they can reach their goals. It's helping people to find clarity. It's helping people to improve their self-image and their confidence so that they can go after the big opportunities that they seek. It's helping people to actually really look at the big goals that they want, not the small goals, because if I break it down for you right now, like a lot of people are setting small goals and they're not attaining them because they don't excite them. So I focus on whatever it is that you are looking for, and my coaching is customized to your needs, but it's based on a lot of experience. So I do, a questionnaire first, and we have a discovery call to see if we are a good fit. See if I'm the best person for you. And if I don't feel that I am, I will refer you to someone else.
So the one thing, I always take something away from every interview. And what I like that you said is find a coach that you wouldn't mind switching positions. I've never heard somebody say that before. And when you said it, I thought about it. I go, holy, wait a minute. That's absolutely right. Like, that's why you look at that coach. And that coach,
they have something that
they have something.
They're in a position that you would like to be in.
They do the walk. So I'm looking at your profile and I've seen you rubbing shoulders with different people. I've seen you on this TV show. I've seen you on this interview. I've seen you on here. I'm like, she must know what she's doing. So that's the one for me. Right. Someone who says, I'm a great coach and I'll help you do this and this. And then when you check their profile, they've not gone anywhere, done anything, and then they're just studying.
Right.
And the way I feel is that studying is one part, but getting out in the world and putting them together is the best thing. Because you can tell somebody, oh, you got to jump. But if that person has never jumped before,
Then they don't know.
how you can teach me to jump and you've never jumped out of a plane?
Exactly. There's a huge difference between what we know and what we actually do. And I believe in being a product of the product. So I have to walk the walk if I'm going to expect you to do the same, right?
Okay. So I love the part too, where it's actually, you don't just choose anybody. It has to be a great fit.
Yes, I definitely don't just choose everybody. A huge part of me discovering who I am is understanding that energy is transferable. And if we have a discovery call and I feel that we're not going to be a good fit because you're going to stress me the heck out, no, I'm okay. I'm good. No, I'm good.
Energy is energy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's next for you? When can we see the next 12 books? When can we see you on stage?
Right now, I'm focusing on helping other people to publish the books and other people to publish their podcasts. I want to create more leaders.
Okay.
I'm excited for the next level of where I'm currently at. I'm excited to continue to serve and rub shoulders with more world changers so that I can continue to change the world.
Love it. All right. So one more time, you mentioned your podcast. Where can somebody find your podcast?
My podcast is available on your favorite podcast platforms, all of them. It's on Apple Podcasts, it's on iHeartRadio, it's on Google Podcast, it's on SoundCloud, Spotify, Podbean, Stitcher.
There you go.
Oh.
All right. Here's my last question. And I haven't asked this question in a long time, but I feel like you're the person that gets the super question.
Mm-hmm.
When you leave this earth, what do you want your legacy to be?
I want my legacy to be, I want to be remembered as someone that helped others walk in their greatness. I want to be someone that's remembered for helping others step out of their comfort zone, helping others to walk in their purpose, helping others to tap into their full potential. That's how I want to be remembered.
Well, there you go. So listen, if you need help, she's more than welcome to help. I'll put her link to her website, her books, it's all there. If you're a person that's out there that's looking for inspiration or want to get to that next level, then please grab a hold. Don't hesitate. Put it out there. She's on social media. You can follow her, whatever she's doing. She puts, can you say your app? What's your app?
So the app is a Walk in My Stilettos as well. So like I said, it's temporarily been taken down for us to completely redo, but it's a Walk in My Stilettos and available in the App Store and Google Play and all that good stuff.
Okay, and before I'm going to let you go, you get to do your shout outs. Who do you want to shout out before I let you go?
I will do a shout out to all of the people that are out there making a difference regardless of what they're going on, like what's going on with them behind closed doors. I want to give props to all of those people because I am one of them, but I know there are so many men and women out here making a big difference regardless of what they're struggling with behind closed doors. So I want to shout out to them.
Well, I thank you so much for taking the time. And like I said before, I appreciate you being patient and getting this thing going, because I do believe that there's people out there that want to hear your story. And I know there's somebody. And if we could change one person's life,
amen. Yep.
Then this 20 minutes of struggle was worth it.
Yes, exactly.
All right. We'll stay tuned and God bless.
Thank you so much, Charles.
Thank you for listening. If you liked the show or have a comment, we would love to hear from you. Join our mailing list. And as always, check out our special deals links below. I hope this has inspired you to look at your life and jump. See you next week.
Amazon is offering sign-on bonuses up to $1,000, plus get up to $20 an hour for select roles. The best part? We're hiring near you. So start now to take home something greater. New, higher wages with a sign-on bonus, a range of real benefits, and career growth opportunities in a top-rated workplace. So earn more and see how great pay and sign-on bonuses can lead to a greater life for you. Go to amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer. Amazon is offering sign-on bonuses up to $1,000, plus get up to $20 an hour for select roles. The best part? We're hiring near you. So start now to take home something greater. New, higher wages with a sign-on bonus, a range of real benefits, and career growth opportunities in a top-rated workplace. So earn more and see how great pay and sign-on bonuses can lead to a greater life for you. Go to amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, hope you had a great time listening to the show. If you think I did a great job, please buy me a coffee. I still got a lot of work to do. We would love to hear from you, your feedback, so please click the link and leave us a review. You can help us grow by following us on all social media platforms and sharing this link. Once again, it's time for you to jump. Success is waiting.